We have witnessed some truly remarkable individual play performances this past season in the A-League men's competition, and with the 2023-24 season wrapping up, it's time to go through the Coast Watch Football Team of the Season. We've gone through a 4-3-3 formation, and we're going to be going through one position at a time, and we'll be doing a bench at the end as well, so make sure to stay tuned to the end of the video. But starting off in the goalkeeper position, this for me was maybe one of the easiest positions to pick for Alex Paulsen from Wellington Phoenix. An incredible season from the young New Zealand goalkeeper who, had spent time on the bench the last couple of years at Wellington Phoenix, promoted to the starting lineup, and was just massive for Wellington Phoenix. Made some incredible saves throughout the entire campaign. So many clean sheets. Absolutely pivotal to Wellington Phoenix and their solid defense this season. And at the time of this recording, linked with some moves to the Premier League. Well deserved for a fantastic player with, as I mentioned, immense potential. Let's jump to that back line. And I know this guy spent a lot of time playing further up the field in a more advanced role, but Mikhail Doka did spend a chunk of the season slotting in at right back, so we had to throw him in there. Mikhail Doka, for me, arguably one of the best foreign players that I think Mariners have ever had. Incredible this season, was crucial in Mariners AFC Cup run, scored a massive goal for Mariners in that home game against Wellington Phoenix late on in the regular season. Versatile as well, as I mentioned, can play a variety of positions, whether that's in that back line or further up the field. Mikhail Doka, the Brazilian, recently securing a 3-year extension with the Mariners, loving life on the coast and in Australia. Joining him in the back line for me is Finn Sermon from Wellington Phoenix. Another one of these players who has just improved so much this season. Wasn't getting too many starting minutes for Wellington Phoenix in the last couple of years. Again, one of these guys who have been thrusted into the starting lineup and has just been absolutely influential in that back line for Wellington Phoenix. Crucial to helping them, again, alongside Alex Paulsen, picking up those clean sheets, and his partnership alongside Scott Wootton was absolutely fabulous this season for Wellington Phoenix. But for me, the best central defender in the league this year is Brian Kaltak. Once again, this guy is just unbelievable, and I'm so glad that he's playing for my team, Central Coast Mariners. Just watching him play every week, man, his leadership, the amount of work that he does, his speed, his strength. In the air, he's incredible. I don't know what the stats are, but the number of corners that he would have cleared with his head, well into the double digits. This guy is an absolute beast, and we love having him at the Central Coast Mariners. For me, the best centre-back in the league. And it's going to be yet another Central Coast Mariner in the back line there. Fair to say, I think Mariners picking up a huge number of clean sheets this season. Jacob Farrell is one of these guys who has spent, 3 years now in the Mariners first team and has just kept on improving the whole time. I'm absolutely bewildered how this guy hasn't secured a move to Europe already. Stoked to have him still at the Mariners, but Jacob Farrell is just a fantastic player, fantastic guy, and has an incredible future ahead of him. If he keeps this going, he'll be a Socceroo in the next year or so. I think that's in the pipeline for someone like Jacob Farrell. But for me, you look, Wellington Phoenix, Central Coast Mariners players making up those 5 defensive roles there. I think it's fair to say that those two teams, Wellington Mariners, easily the 2 best defensive teams in the league this season. We'll be throwing in some defenders and a goalkeeper on the bench later on, so stay tuned to the end of the video. It's time to talk about the midfield. Let's jump into it. And first up, it is Alex Rufer from Wellington Phoenix. For me, the best out-and-out defensive midfielder, if you want to say. I mean, you could put another sort of central midfielder, creative midfielder in there, but for me, Alex Rufer, again, similar to what I was sort of saying with Finn Sermon, one of these guys who took his game to another level. He's a player who has obviously been involved in the Wellington Phoenix system for a long, long time now. And, even last year wasn't really a starting player. He was mainly off the bench. Alex Rufer, though, I mean, it's just incredible to see his progress this season and the leadership as well. I mean, the captain of the side, and his strength and his tackling has seemed to have clicked up another gear as well. His passing, his distribution, fantastic, and an absolute crucial cog to the Wellington Phoenix system there. Alex Rufer in midfield. Joining him is Josh Nisbet for me from Central Coast Mariners, the Johnny Warren Medal, voted the best player in the league this season, rightly so. An incredible player. He earned his Socceroos call-up in March as well. Well deserved, of course. this is a guy who, again, similar to sort of Alex Rufa, where been involved at sort of the club for many years now, but this season really taking their game to another level. For the last couple of years, Josh Nisbet has really been stepping it up, but this year he went to another level, playing in a more advanced role. Started off the season as one of those sixes alongside Ballard, but played up top alongside Alu Kowal for much of the remainder of the campaign. And grabbed a couple goals here and there, assists. So that was the statistic where Nisbet really shined this season. Fantastic player, and again another one of these guys with potentially being linked with moves overseas, and it'll be well deserved if it does indeed come for Joshy Nisbet. The third and final player in our midfield, though, is from Melbourne City. Finally, we have a player from not Mariners of Wellington, Melbourne City, Togo Arslan. Fantastic. What a player. Top goal scorer for Melbourne City this season. And that's saying a lot, considering City have, got the likes of Matt Leckie, Jamie McLaren, Andrew Naboot. I know a lot of those guys were maybe injured or out of the team for chunks of the season. But Togo Arslan was fantastic, regardless of, where City were sitting on the ladder. Just really difficult to stop at times. His dribbling ability was fantastic, really fun to watch, taking on players. And as I mentioned there, double digits in the goals. Fantastic from Tolga Arslan. Great addition to Melbourne City's lineup. Let's talk about this front three now. And the front three for me was maybe the trickiest area to choose for. There were a few players that I had to leave out, but kicking it off is Joe Lolly from Sydney FC. I think it's fair to say that Joe Lolly was Sydney's best player this year. Scored some unbelievable goals. For me, that goal in the elimination final against Macarthur was one of the goals of the season. An insanely good strike from Joe Lolly. The Englishman having another solid campaign in the A-League. A crucial piece to Sydney FC's attack. Cutting in off that right-hand side, always so dangerous. A real handful for A-League defenders. Had to put him in the team of the season from Sydney FC. Two more players for our starting lineup. Let's go over to the left-hand side. I put Costa Barbarouses in. I know he didn't play much of the campaign on the left wing specifically, but we had to put him in there as one of our forwards. He spent most of the season sort of playing whether it was out wide on the right or attacking through the middle. But Costa Barbarouses, back to his best, you got to say. Last year, returning to Wellington, had a bit of a mediocre season by his high standards. We know what he's capable of. Costa, we think back to his time at Melbourne Victory during the 2010s, but Barbarouses, arguably his best season in A-League history. There's probably an argument for that, just with the goals that he scored and the threat that he possessed going forward with his pace. He's well into his 30s now, but an absolute fantastic season from Costa Barbarouses, and a real highlight for him, I think, was that moment in the incredible semi-final, the home semi-final second leg against Melbourne Victory, where the ball came forward and Barbarouses unselfishly laying the ball off for his strike partner, Oscar Zavada. And of course, Barbarouses inking a new deal with Wellington. He's sticking around for next season, which is crucial for the Knicks. We've got one more player for our starting 11, and this one probably isn't too much of a surprise too. Of course, it has to be Golden Boot winner, Adam Taggart. Not often that you have the Golden Boot winner from the team who picked up the wooden spoon, but Adam Taggart was a shining light in what was a really poor season for Perth Glory. Fantastic from Taggart. And look, I'm sure he went into this season obviously wanting to have a successful season, but, with the aim of returning to the Socceroos lineup. He didn't get a look into the World Cup squad back in the end of 2022. Wasn't really sort of in the frame of things there for a while, but certainly in the conversation as one of Socceroos' top strikers at the moment. Adam Taggart, fantastic. His finishing ability was on show this season, and a striker who always puts away the goals when he gets the opportunities. That is our starting 11. Plenty of Wellington, plenty of Mariners, but it's time to jump into our bench as well. Here's some, I guess you could consider them some honourable mentions. Let's go through it. Danny Vukovic from Mariners, very solid campaign from one of the A-League's most experienced goalkeepers. Damien De Silva at Melbourne Victory was fantastic. He even chipped in with a couple crucial late goals in games. Damien De Silva, the French defender. Storm Roux at Mariners, I think one of the more underrated players in the league this season. Played a great role at right back for the Mariners, allowing Docker to get further up the pitch towards the end of the campaign. Anthony Caceres was really, really good at Sydney FC this season, assisting goals, scoring a couple as well. Another solid campaign for the Sydney midfielder. Max Ballard, I mean, he's a guy who I could talk so much about, Max Ballard. He's allowed the likes of of Nisbet, of Docker, these attacking players to really flourish, and those players wouldn't have had their success if it wasn't for the hard work that Max Ballard is doing in midfield for Central Coast Mariners. He's been doing it for the last few years now, and really needs to be recognised for it. A fantastic player, again linked with moves overseas. Bruno Fornaroli for me from Melbourne Victory. The first few months of the campaign, he was unbelievable. He scored 4 goals on a couple occasions. It earned him a call up to the Socceroos for the Asian Cup back in January. It faded a little bit towards the end of the campaign, but still a very, very strong season from Bruno Fornaroli. And of course, Stamatolopoulos, another one of these strikers from a team who struggled this year in Newcastle Jets, but easily their best player this year, Apostolos Stamatolopoulos. Again, one of these guys who you give him half a chance and he's going to take it. He took his game to another level this year, and again, earned a deserved Socceroos call-up to finish off the campaign. There is my team of the season for 2023-24. As I mentioned, feel free to put your team of the season in the comments section. Join the conversation. Who would you change from my lineup? Who am I missing there? Join the conversation. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. My name is Lockie. This is Coastal Football, and I'll see you in the next one.